Tonight, a major break in a 2 decades old rape case in Rogers. Police say DNA links a former small-town Arkansas police chief to the crime. Tonight, only on 4029, you'll hear from the victim.
20 years of waiting, wondering, kind of being a little paranoid about things, and finally, they got him.
It's a good day. It's a good day for her.
Tonight, we have live team coverage bringing you the story behind this big reveal.
Emmy Award winner for Best Evening Newscast. This is 4029 News at 5.
A rape investigation open for more than 2 decades. Finally, there's a suspect. Thanks for being here, everyone. I'm Craig Cannon. We'll go to my co-anchor Paige Preusse in just a moment. This is video of suspect Grant Harden as he walked into the Benton County Jail today to face new charges of kidnapping and rape. He is already serving a sentence in a 2017 murder case. But first, Katie Davidson brings us more on what led to the break in the case and what the victim has to say about it.
Well, this was not your normal press conference. The Rogers police chief visibly choked up on and off as he discussed this arrest. And he called today a fantastic day for justice.
It's a good day. It's a good day for her.
21 years ago, police got a chilling 911 call from Frank Tillery Elementary. It was a teacher named Amy calling for help after she was raped inside the school.
I immediately ran to, kind of ran aimlessly, but I knew I'd run into somebody, and all I could say was, call the police, call the police. I've been assaulted.
Amy asked us not to use her last name or show her face, but she has a lot she wants to share. The suspect, she finally learned, was Grant Harden, a former law enforcement official. They say a DNA sample he gave when he was convicted of murder led to this big break.
This warrant has remained active until today. When it was served on Grant Harden, a white male from Benton County, currently serving a 30-year prison term for first-degree murder.
More than 2 decades later, he credits the victim with keeping the case alive.
Wow. Thankful, both for our victim, who many of us know at the time this happened. Relief. Relief. I'm glad that we did this for her.
Just really, really happy, really relieved, really angry, really sad. You know, it's just a lot. 20 years of waiting, wondering, kind of being a little paranoid about things, and finally, they got him.
Now, coming up at 6, we'll have more of that in-depth interview with the victim. Live in Rogers, Katie Davidson, 4029 News.
Okay, Katie, the suspect, Grant Harden, as I mentioned, already serving 30 years for murder. Let's bring in Paige Preusse now. She was there when Harden appeared in court this afternoon on the new charges. Paige?
Well, Craig, just hours ago, we were here at the Benton County Courthouse as Harden learned his charges of rape and kidnapping. If you take a look here, this is video of him leaving the courtroom today. He is now on his way back to the Benton County Jail. Officials say the big DNA match was made last month, which allowed them to connect Harden to this 1997 rape case. In the probable cause affidavit, the victim details how she was held at gunpoint in a teacher's bathroom, and then again in a nearby classroom. She says she was raped. The victim says that she got some of the suspect's DNA on her sweatshirt, and that's what police kept on file. Also in court today, we know the judge has set a bond of $250,000. Harden didn't say a word. The judge also ordered him not to have any contact with the victim. Live in Bentonville, Paige Preusse, 4029 News.
Recapping tonight's top story, a man serving a 30-year sentence in a murder named in a rape investigation now from 1997. Grant Harden was linked to the rape of the teacher through DNA evidence that was obtained when he took a plea deal for the 2017 murder. He's now facing new charges of kidnapping and rape. Turning to our get ready weather, we're expecting to warm up this week. This is a live look outside. Beautiful sunny day today. The area didn't get out of the 40s. Can you believe, though, we could be talking about the 70s? Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Darby Bybee.
Yeah, later in the week, that'll be a possibility. Not necessarily in the next day or so, but later in the week we'll be warming up. Clear skies out there tonight, so that means temperatures tonight are going to be still pretty chilly for us. And you can see right now in the 40s for most of northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. As we go throughout the night tonight, if you have plans this evening, you're heading out and about, you'll need that jacket. Temperatures quickly dropping into the 30s and likely below freezing already in northwest Arkansas by about 9 p.m. In the River Valley in the mid-30s, and then by tomorrow morning, really all of us, I think, starting off in the 20s, mid and upper 20s early tomorrow morning. And look at these clouds increasing early tomorrow morning and then throughout the day on Tuesday, which means though it will be maybe a degree or two warmer tomorrow, we're going to have a lot of cloud cover, so it may not feel that much warmer. Later in the week, though, we really do warm up. We'll tell you more about that in the 7-day forecast.
Okay, Darby. Well, today, state lawmakers are back in session. 4029's Brett Raines was the only local reporter in Little Rock today as the governor laid out his proposed budget and talked about the future of Arkansas.
Touting low unemployment numbers and new job growth. Today, Governor Asa Hutchinson said Arkansas is on track to see record growth, which he says will help everyone in the state. As Governor Hutchinson addressed the joint session of the House and Senate, he pointed out that right now the state's unemployment rate is 3.7% and that 60,000 new jobs have been created in the past 3 years. All points he wants to emphasize in this election year as he campaigns to stay in the governor's office. Before lawmakers go home, the governor expects to get a federal waiver allowing a work requirement for people who get state money and who are eligible to join the workforce.
Arkansans want to work. They know there is dignity and reward that comes with working and the privilege of providing for your family.
The governor also announced his plan for more tax cuts.
I am proposing that we cut the marginal individual tax rate in Arkansas from 6.9% to 6%.
And coming up tonight at 6, we'll hear from local lawmakers about the governor's proposed budget and how it could affect northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. In Little Rock, Brett Raines, 4029 News.
Okay, Brett, the governor is proposing spending $5.6 billion next year, which includes a surplus rainy day fund of $64 million. One local community is set to vote again on a school proposal. That proposal previously fell by less than 1%. Tonight at 6, how much those renovations could cost overall and how residents could be impacted. Well, President Trump outlining his proposed budget for Congress. His $4.4 trillion plan is for 2019. It gives a huge increase to defense spending while cutting taxes by $1.5 trillion. The result's a soaring budget deficit for the year. The president, though, also pushing for major infrastructure investment.
The people in this room really understand better than most, probably, hopefully better than anybody, that the problem the states have and local leaders have with funding the infrastructure is horrendous.
Both the House and the Senate will hold hearings next week to discuss this proposal. The House Budget Committee Chairman, Arkansas's 3rd District Congressman Steve Womack, offered this statement on the president's budget proposal. Without question, he says, the president's budget acknowledges the grave financial state of our country. However, in order to slow down and pay down the nation's unsustainable debt, balancing the budget should always be the goal. Doing so remains the goal of our committee, unquote. The White House administration is also looking to privatize the International Space Station. That information coming from an internal NASA document cited by the Washington Post. The document says the White House plans to stop direct federal support for the orbiting laboratory in 2025, but it does not plan to abandon the ISS altogether. The document also states it's possible the ISS would transition into a commercial venture run by private industry. Well, the Senate gearing up for a big debate on immigration now. Next, the top priorities for lawmakers. And could your TV be controlled by hackers? A new investigation by Consumer Reports found millions of smart TVs don't do enough to protect your security. Before we go to break, live Get Ready traffic. Looking here live, Interstate 49 in the Rogers area. Things not looking so bad here tonight. Now to our Get Ready weather maps. We are seeing some slowdowns. They're right there in that area heading south in the Lowell area.
Live, local, late breaking. You're watching 4029 News at 5 with Paige Boise, Craig Cannon, and Chief Meteorologist Darby Bybee.
President Trump's daughter-in-law was taken to a Manhattan hospital as a precaution after a suspicious letter containing an unidentified substance was sent to the family's apartment. The letter was addressed to Vanessa Trump's husband, Donald Trump Jr. Now, fire officials say that after the letter was opened, 3 people at the residence were taken to the hospital strictly as a precaution. A preliminary test of the powder indicated it wasn't dangerous. President Trump's tweet on Saturday suggested that the lives of 2 former staffers may have been, quote, shattered and destroyed by a mere allegation. He also tweeted, "Is there no such thing as any longer as due process?" But now one ex-wife of former White House Staff Secretary Rob Porter is speaking out. Jennifer Willoughby wrote in Time magazine, "I was floored. My friend turned to me and said, 'The President of the United States just called you a liar.' She responded, 'Yes, so he did.'" But this weekend, a chorus of White House officials defended how they handled Porter's resignation amid allegations of domestic abuse.
Does the president believe that Rob Porter is falsely accused?
Well, Rob Porter no longer works at the White House. The president believes, as he said the other day, you have to consider all sides.
President Trump first defended Porter on Friday without even acknowledging the women, and just days earlier, photos surfaced of Porter's first ex-wife, Colby Holderness, with a black eye. Porter denies the allegations. The 3 people who died on a sightseeing tour of the Grand Canyon have been identified now as a veterinary receptionist, her boyfriend, and brother. Family and friends of the victims say they were visiting from the UK and they'd gone to Las Vegas for a birthday celebration. The helicopter crashed in Arizona near the canyon's west rim. 4 injured passengers were trapped at the scene for nearly 9 hours before they could be flown to a hospital. Well, data recorders have been recovered from a passenger jet that crashed just outside of Moscow. The jet appeared from off radar, just dropped off of radar minutes after takeoff, and officials say the pilots did not report any problems. Investigators are looking at all possible causes, including the weather, and if the plane was properly de-iced before takeoff. All 71 people on board were killed. Friends and family said their final farewells to Indianapolis Colts linebacker Edwin Jackson in his hometown of Atlanta. The 26-year-old was a passenger in a rideshare vehicle when he was hit and killed by a suspected drunk driver last week. The driver of the Uber was also killed. Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay is paying for the funerals. The Senate back in session this week with immigration at the top of their agenda. Democrats working to protect undocumented immigrants who were brought to this country as children. Republican senators introducing a bill that mirrors the president's request for a path to citizenship for the DACA recipients, but also $25 billion for a border wall and other security measures. Compromise might not be an easy thing during this midterm election season.
That there are an awful lot of members of Congress who feel like if they go home without getting what their constituents demand, somebody's going to challenge them in the primaries.
House Speaker Paul Ryan says he'll bring an immigration bill to the floor for a vote only if he believes President Trump would sign the bill. The DACA program expires March 5th unless Congress acts before then. The Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery today unveiling new portraits of former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama. President Obama's portrait was painted by Kehinde Wiley, an artist best known for his vibrant, large-scale paintings of African Americans. Michelle Obama's portrait was done by Baltimore-based artist Amy Sherrill. The gallery has a complete collection of presidential portraits. Well, 4029 News recently traveled to Kansas City to meet with researchers who've received donation-driven grants from Mediviver. It's been 2 years since Lisa Quinn and Kelly Parker founded NWA Metzgerade, raising money for Mediviver to research stage 4 breast cancer. And it's financial support from our area that's leading to groundbreaking discoveries that could help these cancer patients in the future.
People who are donating actually have input into what they're funding, and their voices are critical.
The money's going to go to where the brightest and best minds are that are researching metastasis and the nature of the disease.
Tonight on 4029 News at 10, Allison Wise will show us how support from our community to the NWA Metzgerade could lead to the discovery of new treatments for advanced breast cancer patients, and that would be something special. Well, starting tonight, 4029 is making some changes to help get you ready for the days where the weather will impact your day. And 4029 Chief Meteorologist Darby Bybee here now to explain.
Yeah, this morning many of you had your day impacted by the ice and, of course, those school closings. Of course, there were many more people impacted by the ice as it was coming down Saturday and Saturday night. So from here on out, we're going to be doing even more to highlight when you'll be impacted by the weather and when the weather could become severe. We will now be showing you in the forecast when the weather could have an impact on your day, indicated using this little yellow icon right here, and when the weather could turn severe and therefore become life-threatening, indicated by the red icon right here. We're making these changes because we want to do everything we can to help you get ready for your day and for your week. We think it will help you and mothers like Brooke Estes, who's busy with 2 young children and relies on us to plan her schedule. When we met Brooke Estes, we knew we had found a busy mom.
Mommy's gonna talk, and you can't make noise.
She invited us into her Rogers home to meet her girls, 23-month-old Micah and 5-month-old Abby. Our goal was to try to talk weather.
Honey, your sippy of milk is on the table. Why don't you go get your milk? Oh, sorry, I thought that was still in my pocket. No shoes on the couch. Hey, okay, when I'm all done, I'll get you more juice, okay? Can you wait just a little bit?
Anything like that?
Yeah,
You can see why Estes needs to stay on top of the forecast and get updates anytime there's weather that could have an impact on her life or put her family in danger.
I pretty much look at the next week of my life every single day. I look at the radar a lot, especially if there's gonna be precipitation and stuff. I'm pretty constantly watching the radar to see what's popping up and when, and kind of what's coming at us from maybe Oklahoma and a little bit further south.
She says it's key for everything she does, from playdate planning to running errands and helping her husband stay safe.
With him traveling, if it's raining or bad roads, he needs to kind of switch his travel days around.
How does she do it all?
Mostly we use apps, we use our phones a lot. A lot of times if it's severe weather, I follow you.
Because a heads up can give a busy mom peace of mind.
You can edit things.
Brooke is busy.
She is.
Busy mom.
There's no doubt about it. And what we hope is that using these, going from, some days will be an impact day. For example, we've got one of those in the 7-day forecast, 2 of them actually. And then some days you might have severe thunderstorms, tornadoes.
Yeah.
Flash flooding could be a concern. Major ice storms. This last weekend, that would have been a severe day. Saturday would have been. So we hope that this is going to help people plan their days and plan their weeks.
Be an easy way to see it right away.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
A really good indicator. Oh, this is something I need to pay attention to.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
We've got one of those in the forecast, so let's go ahead and take a look at it here. Of course, out there tonight, no major impacts on your weather. Might need that jacket for sure. Temperatures are a little cool. We've got low and mid-40s in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley out there right now. Even a few upper 30s like in Garfield. Bentonville at 40, 42 in Elm Springs, 43 Springdale, 44 in Fayetteville. Temperatures slowly dropping as the sun a little bit higher in the sky this time of year than it was at least a month ago anyway, so it's going down a little bit later into the evening. But either way, mid-40s for us in the River Valley, and temperatures will drop once the sun goes down quite a bit. We're thinking mid and upper 20s by tomorrow morning, so cold but dry. Need the heavy coat, the jacket tomorrow morning, but as we go throughout the day, temperatures start coming up. It'll be a degree or two warmer than it was today. Technically, we're going to have more cloud cover, and we're going to stay in the 40s most of the day. So still not the best of days on Tuesday, and really not as beautiful as what we saw today, but maybe a degree or two warmer. Watch what happens here Tuesday night and a Wednesday morning. See a few sprinkles, maybe a light shower develop out there. Not a lot of moisture. This isn't going to have a major impact on your life, we don't think. For Wednesday, it actually starts to warm up, but later in the 7-day forecast, you're going to see this icon. So again, impact icon right here could have an impact on your day. Could be a few showers, could be a wildfire threat. That sort of thing certainly could have an impact on some people's lives. And then the severe icon, which we don't have in the 7-day right now, but that could change, and that's icing events. That's, again, severe weather. And we're getting into severe weather season, so that's an icon that we're probably going to be seeing before too terribly long. So let's take a look at the 7-day forecast here and kind of show you what we've got going on. Again, spotty shower or sprinkle Tuesday night into Wednesday in northwest Arkansas, not a big deal. Not a big impact on your life, right? Well, we get into Thursday, especially Thursday night. In particular, Thursday night, you see the icons right here, that chance of a shower, maybe even a thunderstorm Thursday night, and then that colder air comes in, could see a little light mix on Friday. Hence the icon, again there, as temperatures drop, going from near 70 on Thursday to the 30s on Friday. So big drop in temperatures could have an impact on our life for sure. As we go into the weekend, temperatures start eventually coming back up again, and we do have more slight chances of rain Sunday into Monday. As that gets closer, we start to know a little bit more about that system. Late in the weekend, early next week, we'll be able to give you more information on that. But in the meantime, we're focused on really, again, especially Thursday night into Friday, that chance of a shower or storm, and that big drop in temperatures from low 70s Thursday into the 40s Friday afternoon.
If you're watching us on smart TV, you'll want to stay around here because next, Consumer Reports breaks down which brands are more susceptible to hackers. 4029 News is working to bring you more consumer-related news, and we partnered with a nonprofit to do that. Consumer Reports aims to give consumers the knowledge to make smart choices by investigating products and conditions. Well, could your TV be controlled by hackers? A new investigation by Consumer Reports finds that millions of smart TVs don't do enough to protect your security. Who's controlling your TV? Consumer Reports has found millions of smart TVs from major manufacturers can be controlled by hackers, exploiting easy-to-find security vulnerabilities. The problem affects Samsung televisions along with TV models made by TCL and other brands that use the Roku TV platform.
While evaluating smart TVs for data privacy and security, we came across a vulnerability in some smart TVs that could be exploited by a hacker who could write code to control the TV without the user's permission.
CR was able to demonstrate how a hacker could potentially take over your TV, change channels, play offensive content, or turn the volume up to full blast, all without your control.
This happens because many smart TVs have a programming interface called an API that lets you use your smartphone or tablet as a remote control over Wi-Fi. In some cases, we found that this API was not properly secured, and that could let a hacker control your TV.
This investigation marks Consumer Reports' first test using the digital standard, which was developed to evaluate the privacy and security of products and services. When CR reached out to Samsung and Roku, both companies said they take privacy and security seriously. TCL referred to Roku's response. To find out more about what you can do to protect your personal privacy and limit the amount of data that your smart TV is collecting about you, you can just go to consumerreports.org for instructions specific to your particular television. Well, this baby giraffe was just born at a local zoo. Next, where you can find this baby girl. ABC News following the latest developments from New York City's white powder scare involving one of the president's children, as President Trump predicts a big week for his administration's infrastructure plan rollout. And he also faces backlash over AIDS domestic abuse scandals. Cecilia Vega reports on that. Plus, 3 women were killed and 3 police officers injured after a dangerous barricade incident at a Detroit home. Alex Perez will report the latest. And Eva Pilgrim reports on Florida nurse accused of stealing a newborn baby just 2 decades ago. Very interesting story. Well, finally tonight, if your family's planning a trip to the Kansas City Zoo, you can see a new baby here. The zoo is welcoming a baby giraffe. This girl, who has not yet been named, was born February 2nd. She already stands 5 feet tall and weighs more than 100 pounds. Female giraffes usually grow to about 15 feet tall. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 6 after World News with David Muir.